right, all right. Hey, hey, welcome back, guys. All right, Virgos, I feel like I want to take a little look at week ahead, week ahead for Virgo. The Lovers, the Seven of Pentacles. Virgo, huh? Well, well, well. Do we have some spiciness coming in the next week for Virgo? This definitely feels like, okay, so I'm going to say somebody has had an energy of fantasy-esque going on. Maybe they're fantasizing about Virgo and they get to bump into Virgo and it's like, wow, wow. Now all week I'm going to be thinking about this Virgo. This could be a Gemini or a fellow Virgo or a Capricorn or a Taurus. I keep feeling like it's somebody, oh, Five of Cups. Hang on. Who is flooded with memories of Virgo or who is fantasizing about Virgo? Virgo once upon a time was their lover, but now in this next week, they're going to be flooded with this feeling of some kind of disappointment. Four of Cups and the Three of Wands. This is like somebody lamenting like what might have been, everything I could have had with Virgo, the future I could have had. I should have been planning my future with Virgo. Do they bump into Virgo or something in this next week? And then they're like, why did I not end up with Virgo? Queen of Cups. I don't know if they actually see Virgo because this looks like Virgo just somehow like lives in their mind rent free. Virgo is this like energy where there's this, I don't know, maybe there's like a particular day or there's something that they see that reminds them of Virgo, but I feel like they spend the whole week melancholy over, I could have been with Virgo. They see Virgo as single, abundant, amazing, and somebody they absolutely wish that they were planning a future with. If you want that so bad, then why are you not just pursuing things with Virgo? Page of Wands. Oh, they're thinking about it. Okay. So basically, let me just pause for just a second and say, hang on. Is there anything specific? Let's go with this deck. Is there anything specific just for Virgo in this next week? Not other people being inspired to start thinking about the actions they want to take, but what about for Virgo? Four of Swords is in the reverse. This is not going to be a silent week for Virgo. Virgo's not in a place of like deep contemplation. Virgo's probably pretty busy. Oh, Prince of Cups. There could be somebody new that Virgo flirts with this week. So this coming week, there could be somebody could be wearing a tank top. They could have really nice arms. Someone that they notice Virgo, they intentionally come up and flirt with Virgo. They want to say hi. This is brand new. This Prince of Cups is brand new. Virgo is, I'm feeling like doing a little bit of flirty flirt. Virgo might know right out of the gate, they're not my Two of Cups maybe, but there's somebody that I'm enjoying flirting with. There's something here. I'm interested. Why not? I'd be open to maybe dating somebody that I kind of feel like, it's almost like Virgo says, I know right out of the gate, I don't think that they are a Two of Cups, but maybe Virgo's not looking for a relationship that intense, but this could be somebody that Virgo could have a very happy life with. Why does Virgo say that this brand new person that they might be meeting this week is like, oh, they're not my Two of Cups, but they could be my Ten of Pentacles. They could be somebody I could get along with really, really well. Nine of Swords. Okay, so deep down, secretly, there is some hesitation for Virgo to ever like fully give like the entirety of their soul to somebody. And maybe that's because Virgo's been down that road before and maybe things didn't work out so good before. And so they're like, I don't know about this. Devil in the reverse. Virgo's determined. They won't over romanticize a relationship again. So I'm feeling like in this storyline, our Virgo probably had somebody once upon a time, they're like, oh my God, this is the other half of my soul. This is this person that I'm like, I care so much about them and, whatever it takes to make this relationship work, I just want to be with them. We're going to be amazing together. And I'm thinking that Virgo has decided I already went down a road like that. I'm not even looking for a love story like that. I want one that's more tangible, more realistic, somebody who gets along good with my Nana, my family, somebody that I could see having harmony with, somebody that makes good business decisions and I build with them and we have a harmonious life, and somebody who cares about the people in their world. The idea though of saying, oh, they're my Two of Cups, I don't even want to go down that road. That was toxic. I never want a toxic situation again. So I really think that there's a lot of potential for this new person. Can I see anything? Let's change decks. Anything about this new person? And then we'll go back to that other person who's still fantasizing about Virgo. Okay, so this new person is like, they meet Virgo this week, possibly somewhere outside, a cabin in a park. This almost feels like a park rangers type of place. I don't know if Virgo's going to be hiking or be at a lake or something, but they could work in a more official capacity, or they could be a friend of a friend. But it feels like, I keep picturing somebody who could be like a park ranger, but they feel like Virgo is a soulmate. They're really excited to meet this Virgo. I'm picturing somebody who has a beard, even though I know that's weird because he's clean shaven here and here. This is somebody who immediately is attracted to Virgo. They may be wearing a white shirt when Virgo meets them. Strength card. They got real strong emotions, but they also think Virgo is pretty powerful. Virgo could be someone who comes across as pretty self-sufficient, but also somebody that's like really kind and has their own like ferocious streak, but can also purr like a kitty. They like this Virgo. Oh man, they think Virgo is the hottest thing ever. Everything about this Virgo is like unique to them, foreign to them, strong, sexy. This Virgo could be a Leo cusper, but they are very drawn to Virgo. And I think Virgo is very drawn to them. Definitely a new love potentially this week. This could be through the workplace, or it could be somebody that Virgo immediately is like, I could totally see like doing something with them, working together with them on a project. This might start out with like flirtation, but also like, like a no nonsense kind of conversation that has flirtation built into it. Like Virgo goes to visit some whatever national park, and the park ranger there is like, obviously flirting with Virgo, and vice versa, even while they're talking about like, the history of the national park. Like that's what I mean when I say working together, but still having this very interesting flirtatious. They could be quite an earthy character, but they have a lot of charm. And they're smitten with Virgo. The reason I'm saying national park also is that we see like almost like a little bit of tip of the hat to maybe like Zion or Bryce, national canyons. Virgo could hail from an Asian culture. This could be somewhere in China as well. These beautiful rock spires. I know there's beautiful landscapes in China also. So we got a lot of different locations to think about. Okay, but now let's go back over here, because at the same time, this week, it looks like there is potentially an air sign, maybe a Gemini, who is really having a rough week. They are sitting in like quite a bit of despair. Like the thoughts of Virgo are flooding their mind. They see Virgo as single. They see Virgo as the person that got away. They remember being, this is obviously they were Virgo's lover at one point. So this is an ex who is very much lost in memories. But let's go back to their Page of Wands. Are they thinking about reaching out to Virgo? Because a page is our communicator. Knight of Pentacles, well, they might think about it, but it might take them all week to even really get around to saying, like the desire is there to talk to Virgo. I don't know if they ever do. With that Eight of Swords, I don't know. They think about it and they think about it and they think about it, and then they get stuck again with the words. What do I say? What do I say? Maybe, oh my God, are you kidding me? It's either that they're realizing they're really stuck on Virgo because they wish that they had been able to build a future with Virgo after all. And this is the week that they're just kind of submerged in these emotions. Maybe it's because they can feel Virgo getting attracted to somebody else. Maybe they're like still tapped into Virgo's energy, because what's coming around is like they don't know what to say. Their brain is stuck. And finally they realize, my brain is stuck on one thing, which is I wanted to be Virgo's emperor. I wanted to be Virgo's man, Virgo's, forever person. They already said, I just remember when Virgo was mine. I could have been building a life with Virgo. I should have been building a life with Virgo. Holy smokes. Is Virgo going to have to cross a bridge by the end of the week where they're going to have to decide what they do with this ex? Is this ex actually coming forward? With that Ace of Swords, it looks like they actually are going to. Maybe it's not this week. Maybe it's still down the road. I don't know though, because we've got a King of Swords in the reverse. If that's the old version of them, where they couldn't make themselves say anything and they tried to move on from Virgo, all I'm going to say is that didn't work. Can I get more clarity here? What are you actually doing, X of Virgos? And we'll call them the King of Swords. Queen of Cups, which is how they saw Virgo. What are they doing? They're focusing on Virgo. Virgo is their Queen of Cups. Soulmate and Four of Cups. Okay, so plain and simple, it may be 6 days into the week that they go ahead and reach out to Virgo. This is that returning soulmate energy. This is the tremendous amount of despair that they are feeling about this. So Virgo's going to have to hear from an ex this week, is what it says. An ex that is, the biggest thing is like, why was I not already building with Virgo? I could have had a whole future with Virgo. Virgo loved me at one point. How is it that I am not with Virgo? And I feel like for whatever reason, they're like, I decided I could move on from Virgo. In my ego, I didn't want to fix things with Virgo. I moved on, but that was never even true. This is them having the coming to Jesus moment this week. And it's happening at the same time that Virgo is meeting somebody new. So universe, do you have anything to weigh in with for Virgo? By the way, I did another Virgo video vastly different than this one. It is still processing. It probably won't come out until tomorrow, but I will release it whenever we can. We have a Two of Pentacles. The universe says exactly this. Virgo's going to have to choose. Virgo needs to get themselves very balanced, very peaceful this week, because they're going to have a choice between two different things. They should, be able to make a balanced choice. So that begins with needing to be balanced themselves. Virgo's happily ever after is what's going to be kind of on the line this week for this particular character, right? This is the Ten of Cups. This is whatever Virgo chooses this week can have far-reaching implications for where their happiness is. And this actually says Virgo could have great happiness with either one of these, I'm going to say masculines. So whatever lifestyle, whatever it is that Virgo wants, Virgo's going to have to choose. And we have the Devil. When we say we got to make peace with the fact that Virgo's going to have to make a decision that will be about their 10 of Cups, and that there could be a big temptation for Virgo to not make the decision, or that there is possibly Virgo's going to have to be able to determine which path would not be in their greatest and highest good. We have Temperance and we have Empress. One thing I will point out is that this new person that Virgo's meeting this week, in all fairness, although we have soulmate energy for them, we also have soulmate energy for the other person, the person of Virgo's past. We do see them as a Knight of Wands, which is very sexy, very alluring. And we see them as the Knight of Cups, which this is Eros or Cupid, and it talks of somebody who falls in love with love itself. Right out of the gate, Virgo's like, they're not my Two of Cups. I know that. But I think that they wouldn't be toxic, and I think that this could be a really peaceful 10 of Pentacles relationship with them. But we don't really know. Meanwhile, this other person who blew it with Virgo, who seems to be coming back in, but they're coming in wanting the full-blown, like, I want to marry Virgo. I want to be, this is all about the future that I could have had with Virgo, and that's a future that I still want. I'm only suggesting that Virgo has to look at things with long-term in mind when they make their decision this week. Which person could I really see having peace and harmony with, and long-term, far-reaching implications? If Virgo wants a long-term relationship, then who do they want that with, and which person could they really see having the least amount of conflict with? Which person wants the same things that Virgo does? Because it's all about choosing the partner that they'll have the balanced life with, the balanced energy with. Universe, can you give us any last bit of advice, since Virgo's got a choice between two? Is there any last bit of something to contemplate here for Virgo? The Star, the Knight of Wands. it can be so hard to figure out, with a new relationship, is this just lust, or could I see this going the distance? Would I trust this person if I weren't around them? Do I really believe that, if we were in long distance, would I trust them? Do I believe that they are a love that lasts? And I think it's almost like Virgo would have to ask that question of both individuals. Who do I feel is here for the long haul? Who do I think I would trust, if I were, we had to be parted ways for a period of time? Who do I actually believe is, the kind of person that, and also who would go the distance to travel to go see me? Who would put in the effort to get to me? And who is the person I would do that for? It feels like those questions have to be answered for Virgo to know which choice to make. Very interesting that Virgo is possibly going to be faced with that so soon. This could be a whirlwind of a week, that's for sure, when it comes to Virgo's heart. All right, I'm going to leave this here. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs